Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brian O'Rourke. I'm a member of the ministry team here in St. Peter Mancroft. On Wednesday at 1 o'clock, it is our custom to have a short reflection. So as it's 1 o'clock, it's Wednesday, this is the short reflection. In 2017, my wife and I spent a month in Israel. We were based in the foothills of the Jerusalem Hills, about 10 kilometers from the city. And each evening, after dinner, we would sit on the balcony at about between quarter to eight and 8 o'clock, to watch the sun setting. It's very dramatic, it's very sudden. Literally, if you blink, you will miss it. But as the sun was going down, one could hear from across the valley the call to prayer. And it was a haunting sound, particularly as the light began to fade, and then we were plunged into almost complete darkness. I do remember saying to my wife, I wonder where is that coming from? And she, being a little bit cleverer than I am, looked up the direction and found that it was coming from a small Palestinian village of about 5,000 people called Abu Ghosh. So we got into the car and we drove through the countryside and up into this wonderful little village. Now, we'd done some research on it, but nothing would prepare you for what we actually found. It had its mosque, it had some of the best hummus in Palestine, it's noted for it, but it also had the Benedictine Abbey of St. Mary of the Resurrection, which is the best example of a Crusader church across the Middle East. It was built by the Knights Hospitallers in 1140. We entered it, went down into the crypt and studied the frescoes that date from that period. Beautiful frescoes depicting biblical scenes in a Byzantine style. Abu Ghosh also had a very strong link with St. Luke's Gospel and the post-resurrection period. The reason the Hospitallers had chosen the site because they believed it was where the village of Emmaus was based. And I thought about it as we were there. Emmaus has always been to me one of the most important parts of the post-resurrection story. Two strangers, two people who know each other, meet a stranger. A conversation follows, and an invitation to break bread, to enter their house. And it's only when they get in there that they discover that it is Jesus. And with great excitement, run back to Jerusalem to the disciples. I wouldn't have known unless we had been there that they had a long run ahead of them, as I say, 10 to 15 kilometers, having come that way, and now they're going back that way again. We attended Vespers in the church one evening. It's quite well known for its plain chant, so we were delighted to be part of the congregation there that evening. They had a gift shop. What place doesn't have a gift shop? But I bought two items which I'd like to share with you. Pottery made by the Benedictine monks and nuns on the site, so Abu Ghosh on the back of it. From 2017 up until I retired a year and a half ago, these were in constant use. I wanted them blessed, but Brother Roger, who was very accommodating in that he had very little English and I had no French. Sign language can actually be a wonderful thing. So I asked him would he bless them, and in very broken English he told me that he wasn't a priest and he couldn't bless things. but he would dedicate them. So we went back into the church, me holding my items. He went and got a prayer book, which interestingly was in English. And he said, we must go to this place. And we went and stood under, and a little plaque on the wall commemorated a visit by the Archbishop of Canterbury, George Carey, to that church while he was Archbishop. And in broken English, he dedicated these to the worship of God, but more importantly, to fellowship between people of all nations, all colours, all classes, all backgrounds. And for me, these simple items have meant an awful lot over the years. That same place, Abu Ghosh, was for years a place where Israelis and Palestinians were brought together by the brothers in the Abbey. It was actually used to make Israeli army cadets aware of what Palestinian life was like until a particular prime minister came to power and all of that stopped. Abu Ghosh for me is a place of returning and a place of conversation. These are two things we need very much in our world at all times, but perhaps now more than ever. Conversation between people. A conversation isn't one-sided. It is two people expressing views, their opinions, and returning time and time again to the gift of peace, which all of us strive to be part of our lives. In this post-Easter time, I would invite you to take a walk on the Emmaus Road. Take a walk with Jesus. Go into conversation. Enter into a space where you feel that you are returning to something that is terribly important to you. We're very good at leaving. Sometimes we're not great at returning. Thank you for listening.